and welcome. This is TV1 News. I'm Carol Kidu Jr. In this edition, court orders Speaker to recall Parliament on April 8th, legal fraternity in peaceful march, and East New Britain franchise remains positive. The Supreme Court has ordered the Speaker of the National Parliament to recall Parliament to meet on April 8, 2025, and to facilitate debate on the motion of no confidence of November 27, 2024. The five-man bench consisting of Chief Justice Sir Gibbs Salika, Justice Cannins, Justice Hartshorn, Justice Kariko, and Justice Dingake declared that the Private Business Committee's decision of November 27, 2024 to reject a motion of no confidence in the Prime Minister was unconstitutional and was in breach of Section 11.111, right to introduce bills, etc., of the Constitution.
The court ruled that the Parliament's resolution of September 12, 2024 to reject a motion of no confidence in the Prime Minister did not perforce of Section 51E, Section 111, 142(5) and 145 of the Constitution, restricting the right of members of the Parliament to submit another motion of confidence in the same Prime Minister. On November 27, 2024, the National Parliament disallowed a motion of no confidence against the Prime Minister on the ground that it was brought within 12 months after a motion of no confidence in the same Prime Minister was defeated on 12 September 2024. The applicant, James Nomane, then filed an application in the Supreme Court under Section 18(1) of the Constitution, seeking a declaration that Section 165 of the Standing Orders, insofar as it is invoked in relation to a motion of no confidence against the Prime Minister, and that the decision to rely on it to disallow the motion of no confidence against the Prime Minister of 27 November 2024 was unconstitutional. The applicant also sought orders for the Parliament to be recalled within 7 days to debate the motion of no confidence of November 27, 2024. The court, among other orders today, ordered the Speaker to recall Parliament and for the Private Business Committee to deliver the motion of no confidence of 27 November 2024 to the clerk, who shall list it on the notice paper forthwith. It was declared that the decision of the Private Business Committee to not place the motion of no confidence on the notice paper was contrary to the principle of collective responsibility of the executive arm of government to the Parliament under Section 141 of the Constitution. The court also declared that Section 165 of the Standing Orders, to the extent that it applies to a motion of no confidence, is unconstitutional for being inconsistent with Section 51E, Section 1111, Section 142(5), and Section 145 of the Constitution. Ruth Rungula, TV1 News.
Prime Minister James Marape has announced that the government will not contest the decision of the Supreme Court in the courts, but allow due process to follow. Marape made this announcement in a media conference when he arrived from Enga this afternoon. The Supreme Court, in its ruling this morning, ruled in favor of an application filed by Deputy Leader of the Opposition and MP for Chuave, James Nomane, and court ordered the Speaker to recall Parliament on April 8, 2025. The Prime Minister said his government respects the court's decision and will adhere to the court orders to convene Parliament. Member for Goilala Casimiro Aya has urged banks to relax their requirements from processing District Service Improvement Program Fund checks. His call stems from concerns that stringent bank requirements are creating obstacles for local governments and districts in accessing and utilizing DSIP funds.
Speaking at the presentation of the 2024 Goilala District Acquittals to the Department of Implementation and Rural Development today, Member for Goilala Casimiro Haya emphasized that DSIP funds are crucial for the development of local infrastructure and services within the district. He believes that reducing bureaucratic hurdles by the banks would enable quicker and more efficient access to the resources necessary for implementing vital community projects. Aya argued that local governments would be better equipped to meet the immediate needs of their constituents and foster economic development if the banks streamline their check processing procedures.
We have issues with the banks too. Sometimes our officers compile all reports and be compliant. But there's some officers within the bank that are playing monkey games, hanky-pankies with our officers. And so contractors start running here and there, back to CO and DFM. Eventually they end up to me and say, I've been told to do this and do this. So the bank, the reason why many projects are delayed is because of the bank.
Mr. Aya is also encouraging dialogue between local authorities and banking representatives to identify ways to improve accessibility to DSIP funds while maintaining necessary financial safeguards. He aims to ensure that financial mechanisms in place support rather than hinder progress in the Goilala district and similar areas across the country.
I think this nonsense at the bank needs to stop. It's a people's money. The bank must come first to realize that this is people's money. We must spend within time and budget. When they put extra burdens on us, on top of what we already have, this kills the country and kills all our projects as well. So that's
Freddie Mo, Tvwan News.
Member for South Bougainville, Member for South Bougainville and Minister for Communications, Timothy Massieu, has appealed to all people in the country to understand how the government is dealing with the economic challenges the country is going through. Massieu made this call when presenting the 2024 South Bougainville acquittals to the Department of Implementation and Rural Development today.
At the presentation of the 2024 South Bougainville acquittals to the Department of Implementation and Rural Development, Member Massieu highlighted key initiatives and projects that are being undertaken to improve living conditions for the people of South Bougainville and stimulate economic growth. He stressed the significance of transparency and accountability in the implementation of these projects, reassuring the citizens that their interests are at the forefront of government actions.
Provide some machinery or some equipment long and premium because South Bougainville is on weather side, long time no rain or road block the Sabagarab, and that's where we spend a lot of money into the roads, but now we have.
In his address, Massieu also emphasized the importance of unity and understanding among the citizens as the government navigates the ongoing economic challenges facing the country. He urged the people to remain informed about the government's efforts and strategies aimed at addressing these issues and fostering resilience within communities.
Papua New Guinea, you don't have come up with a failed state. We can talk also. As a leader, Papua New Guinea would never become a failed state. There are people in their own dreams, they would like Papua New Guinea to become a failed state. But this is my country too. This is your country too. You cannot guess this country and expect something good to happen.
Massieu's appeal also included a call for collaboration between the government, local communities, and various stakeholders, which he believes is crucial for effective implementation of development programs. He acknowledged the challenges faced but expressed optimism about the potential for positive change through collective effort and strategic planning. Meanwhile, Secretary for DIRD Ahi Waki, while accepting the acquittals, admitted that the government needs to beef up capacity at DIRD in order to get a good report from the districts.
Step taken to conduct awareness, I think that's the way to go. We need to educate our people first to understand, and then leadership will start working both at the political level and administrative level.
Freddie Mo, Tvwan News.
The PNG Law Society hosted its annual Rule of Law March in Port Moresby today. This year's theme is Defend Democracy, Uphold Justice. Members of PNG's legal fraternity marched from the Independence Boulevard to the National and Supreme Court premises in Waikani.
Members of the legal fraternity, comprising of lawyers, began the Rule of Law March at the Independence Boulevard, walked past the Parliament House, and entered the National and Supreme Court premises to end the walk. Led by the PNG Law Society, under the theme Defend Democracy, Uphold Justice, the walk in solidarity aims to remind the nation that the law is the foundation of a just society and its integrity must never be compromised. PNG Law Society President Hubert Namani said the legal fraternity is concerned about the alarming escalation of lawlessness across our nation, which continues to ravage communities. These incidents are not isolated, they are symptomatic of a much deeper issue that is eroding the fabric of our society.
Critical juncture where criminal behavior is increasingly conducted with impunity. Our people face human rights violations daily. Women, children, persons with disabilities, and the most vulnerable among us continue to suffer from injustice, violence, and systematic neglect. Our communities need education and awareness on their rights and responsibilities.
Nomani stated that PNG's democratic safeguards are currently facing unprecedented challenges. Recent legislative developments, including the Counter-Terrorism Act 2024, the National Executive Council Act 2025, and Constitutional Amendment Number 48, Motion of No Confidence Law 2025, threaten to erode the essential checks and balances that uphold our democracy.
Seeing that piece by piece, the pillars of accountability are being dismantled. Laws that once ensured executive transparency, judicial oversight, and parliamentary scrutiny are being replaced with measures that consolidate power, cater legal challenges, and strangle dissent.
The president said lawyers stand as guardians of justice, ensuring that power is exercised lawfully and does not erode our democracy or the rights and freedoms of our people. Our profession is not about politics or personal agendas. It is about upholding the rule of law to ensure the justice system is fair and just for our society.
Our democracy was built on the dreams of men who believed in justice, fairness, and the rule of law. Our Constitution, our national goals and directive principles, they were not just words on paper. They were a call to action, a commitment to a just and free society. We owe it to ourselves and future generations to defend these principles.
Commonwealth Lawyers Association Council member David Deninston said the Commonwealth lawyers are determined to support PNG in addressing the challenges faced by the legal fraternity and to uplift the standards of PNG's judicial system. He thanked the PNG Law Society for hosting this prestigious event, which calls for transparency, justice, and accountability in the law and justice sector.
The Law Society is supporting the CLA and the rule of law across the Commonwealth. It has become an institutional member of the Commonwealth, and the President, Secretariat, and all councillors will now have access to all our educational materials and a large network of law firms, law societies, academics and individuals.
Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
BSP Financial Group has unveiled its refreshed brand identity, marking a major milestone in its evolution as a leading financial institution in the Pacific. The rebranding highlights BSP's commitment to innovation, customer engagement, and regional expansion. The new branding aligns with BSP's strategic transformation, positioning itself as a modern and customer-focused bank. Over the years, BSP has evolved from a national bank to a regional financial powerhouse, with this latest change reinforcing its presence across the Pacific. A launch was held this morning to celebrate the milestone, bringing together BSP executives, staff, and guests. Adding a cultural touch to the celebration, BSP staff from across PNG and the Pacific delivered a powerful choir performance led by Papua New Guinea's very own Mariani Masani. The performance symbolized the bank's unity and diversity under its new identity. With this refreshed look, BSP aims to strengthen its customer relationships and enhance its services, ensuring it remains a trusted financial institution for years to come. BSP's new brand identity represents a step forward in its journey, embracing change while staying true to its Pacific roots. This is TV1 News. After the break, DIRD facing challenges in accessing funds and plans to move mining department.
Banking used to mean long trips, endless queues, and piles of paperwork. But now, BSP's one-talk wallet means no waits, no forms, no fuss. No BSP account needed. Just dial *131# to access your money wherever, whenever. Send, receive funds, withdraw cash at an ATM without a bank card, pay for school fees, and make top-up purchases safely and securely. BSP's one-talk wallet. Money made easy.
Hiya, Mama.
You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Thankful Kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
The Toyota JD Hiace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency, and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hiace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort, and safety. Experience the ride on the Hiace bus and experience the Hiace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
It's back to school with Lay Biscuits. We're giving away a massive 100,000 kina cash gift voucher to help you kickstart the year. We've got prizes up for grabs from 200, 500, 1,000, 2,000, and a whopping 5,000 kina cash gift voucher. Here's how to enter. Spend 10 kina or more on any Lay Biscuit product. Write the contact details on the back of the receipt for your chance to win. Promotion starts on the 10th of February and ends on the 4th of April. Fresh draw on the 11th of April and the major draw on the 16th of April. See selected stores nationwide. Terms and conditions apply.
This honking is doing your head in. Why don't you go and put a stop to it? Oh, maybe not.
Bing bang bing. Bing bing bang. Bum bum bum.
Welcome back. The Department of Implementation and Rural Development has admitted that it is facing challenges in accessing, monitoring, and evaluation funds for project assessments in the districts.
Secretary for the Department of Implementation and Rural Development, Ahi Waki, has acknowledged that the department is encountering significant challenges related to the availability of monitoring and evaluation funds necessary for conducting project assessments in various districts. This admission highlights a critical gap in resources that is impacting the department's ability to effectively oversee and evaluate the progress and outcomes of the development projects. Vaki, when receiving the 2024 South Bougainville acquittals today, emphasized the importance of thorough monitoring and evaluation in ensuring that projects are meeting their objectives and delivering the intended benefits to communities. He says that without adequate funding for these processes, the department may struggle to identify issues, make timely adjustments, and ensure accountability for the utilization of public funds.
All wanted us to come. Many of them have requested for us to go, but we don't have money to monitor. We don't have money to come to the districts. And I discourage funding from the districts because what we give you, then people come instead of slow acquittals to people like you.
Vaki called for greater collaboration with other government agencies, non-government organizations, and international partners to secure additional resources for monitoring and evaluation activities. He reiterated the department's commitment to enhancing transparency and effectiveness in project implementation, which is essential for building trust and improving outcomes for the citizens.
For now, we don't have monetary funds. That's the way we are going. But otherwise, we trust the district to do the right thing. You have your 5-year development plan, stick to it. Under your leadership, South Bougainville, just tick off as you go along under those plans and implement those projects.
Vaki said the recognition of this funding challenge highlights the need for strategic planning and prioritization within the department, as well as collective effort to advocate for increased investment in monitoring and evaluation systems that are vital for sustainable development. Freddie Moe, Tvwan News.
The newly appointed mining minister and Finchafen MP, Rainbow Paita, made his first visit under the new portfolio to the mining township of Wau in Morobe province on Friday, March 28th. With Wau Warrior having over 60 active mining leases with many challenges, including the process of issuing mining leases, local MP Mash Narawak is hopeful that the new minister would progress their agenda.
And Finchafen MP Rainbow Paita made his first visit to the mining township of Wau as the newly appointed mining minister, a portfolio that was awarded to him after a minor cabinet reshuffle on Tuesday, March 25th. Member of our party and Wau Warrior MP, Mash Narewe, was determined to bring the mining minister to Wau to see for himself the challenges that local miners face. Other issues include pending applications to renew mining leases, environmental and infrastructural damage caused by alluvial mining due to non-regulation, small-scale miners unable to get mining licenses as they are being held by uncooperative corporate organizations, and small-scale miners partnering with foreign developers who have no respect for the local people, their laws, and the environment. Speaking in Wau, Paita outlined that the local DDA will lead the charge in this week's Hidden Valley Memorandum of Agreement review, while the Mineral Resources Authority and his ministry will follow suit.
Most people come to force money something all no sabe come down district area. So this like assurance blomi, prime employee review, Hidden Valley, and it long leadership blomi, me ba work boom wanted you plan. Now you look at how we can review. Number 2. One block work when we make money long department blomi, you long wow below you make at the highest level. Blomi by me checking number time make him office next week. And all of your minus. Now you meet a business must long PNG tasol. But now you be looking plant your proper ground, you mean no got machine, you mean no got excavator, you mean no got machine no cleaning so you mean joint venture want them on man will come outside. So work blomi now. 2 plus something. 1, Bami stop him. Ogata, alluvial mining or man come inside and make him own of PNG. Time you stop him. You know, minimum by me stopping the soul. Because time you stop him. Plenty of papa and mama will play so young plomad. All of your mind and you know you brothers will start planting in seven stop here. Men force and stop, but you know got machine, you know got equipment. So me asking government, time me stopping all of your mining, now making laws and I must full business for Papua New Guinea. Maybe I must help him look some machine. All of your machine.
Kamala Guare, TV1 News, Lay.
The new mining minister and member for Finchafen Rainbow Paita plans to move the mining department to Lay in Marlborough province. He outlined his intention during his first visit as the mining minister to the mining township of Wau on Friday, March 28th. Paita was in Wau following an invitation from Wau Warrior MP and our party member Marsh Narewek, who needed the new mining minister to address many pending issues from his electorate, including the process of issuing mining leases, environmental and infrastructural damage caused by alluvial mining due to non-regulation, and the partnership between locals and foreigners in alluvial mining, which is a reserved business.
Me legasim Gabon, me work symbol cabinet and asking prime minister. It not be moving mining department come long, Morobelong Lay. So that Walkman gets in and close to the way mine alluvial goal is stop. Walkman lay shoe long looking, mine stop alright, environment is stop alright, society will stop alright, school is stop alright, or no god. All Walkman no can guess by along most be, yeah. You know, because me belong Moroben and me talk no god. Planting big operation, no before even Wow Bulolo, Wow is stop, Iren Belly stop. Na meeting was in Lay and Central area. All Oro can come, Medengi can come. Then we put him office there. So easily Salim man go out now work. Planting people learn on about you plus the pain him hard to look almost be. So this office must come down. So landowners, the area where resources start can access him or workman below me clients and on government.
A success story from a landowner company in Kotobu, Moran Inanaga. The landowner company for the landowners of PDL 5 and 6 is expanding its capacity to better position itself for the future. It has invested a massive 8 million kina to purchase brand new machinery and dump trucks with the aim to provide uninterrupted service to Santos.
The plant and equipment were commissioned in a ceremony in Moro over the weekend. The purchase and commissioning of this machinery and trucks signified a milestone in the operations of Moran Inanaga, the landowner company for the Moran landowners of PDL 5 and 6. Moran Inanaga has come a long way from being almost bankrupt to now a success story. Board Chairman Tony Manakila acknowledged the management for turning this company around.
Kevin Kuruwe, also Boslo Moran Naga Misla. Southern Highlands and Yalibu. So I'm studying Moran Naga like that. But I think sing all power our Homa boys make him. This man come na kirabim.
He also challenged the young people of Moran PDL 5 and 6 to take studies seriously to move this company forward in the future.
Power ma begini, yalda pagol begini. You must carry me go. Na current vision from me go. You must celebrate America. You must celebrate Australia. You must celebrate Port Moresby, Lay business. You must carry forward.
General Manager of Moran Inanaga, Kevin Kuruwe, thanked Santos for their approach in prioritizing landowner companies, which has seen Moran Inanaga pick up pace when Santos took over operations compared to Oil Search.
Oil Search had been given up a contract, but the contract was not enough to make any money in a good contract. But what can we do? That was the condition or situation, so we had to survive, we had to make it work. Some directors will stop backside, but workman is stop now. People people struggle, plenty challenges come. People come enough time Santos have come and said they've given people a win tasol them talk. At least me tribes about the people so. But this has me talk thank you Santos.
Business development representative from Santos, Foreman Upele, in congratulating Moran Inanaga, for their achievement, said this investment indicated good management and leadership in the company and good working relationship with not just Santos, but other contractors as well. Moran Inanaga initially started with grass-cutting contracts when the Manada and Moran oil fields were first discovered, and is slowly expanding its portfolio, and the purchase of this machinery also paves way for Moran Inanaga to diversify its business as it looks to venture into other areas. Moran Inanaga is the recognized umbrella company for the PDL 5 and 6 landowners.
Santos recognize him, Minos umbrella company pro Moran 5-6, pro side pro Moran. Na by me pro work one time mean. So policy pro Santos. So me understand those me black at all legal company to start, but and policy pro Santos I know pro me.
Ruth Rungula, TV1 News.
21 community members of Jim Jam Community Health Center in Yawar Village, Rycoast District, were the first to graduate on Friday the 28th after attaining training on effective development, empowering the nation. The program is under the Lutheran Health Services of the Medang Sipik region. The training now paves way for implementation.
Trainings have been carried out since last year with all the community health workers in Medang, East and West Sipik province to ensure that the four main pillars of Eden are captured: holistic, community ownership, development, multiplication. Jim Jam Health Center is the first to have the effective development empowering the nation program rolled out for implementation with 15 members, which increased to 21 when community members realized its importance. Sister Rondi Maso, the health secretary for the Medang and Sipik region, was thrilled to see the outcome of the first rollout and congratulated all stakeholders involved. She said their key priority is to work with communities, the government, and the Lutheran Health Services to ensure this program is a success. Sister Maso called for recognition of the program for government agencies, including the Medang Provincial Health Authority, to support the Lutheran Health Services.
PHA na government tu mas look sabi also mi plagat training institution emots and powerhouse mi like look now lo come up behind him is the national health plan and stuff mi mas come out rousing can the CHS na make him come up with some corporate plan bla mi Lutheran Health Services so that mi mas implement him mi mas make him work can decorate him book.
The program allows for communities to take ownership of their hygiene and health practices, avoiding preventable diseases and illnesses. The communities are encouraged to be aware of their surroundings and share ideas on how they can manage their health with whatever resources the health facility provides.
Mipla like give him ownership go back lo yupla. Mipla stop lo guide him yupla, na provide him tools lo yupla. So that people must look out him own community yupla, look out him all mama get bell, look out him good all pikinini you can sick. So Mipla like give him ownership go back lo you.
There will be an evaluation done later in October to assess its success and challenges for a way forward in 2026. Padok Mate, the community health worker in charge, praised the community, stating that they have always been resilient and self-sufficient. The health center was built through community effort through fundraising.
Osano now Jawar mitok thank you. The displausi kan you at walking. Me buy 46 plus seat kapalo fundraising lo yumi. No channel says to me helping me lo healthcare building inside bowling outside bowling kapa you buy.
All 21 members received the certificates and were keen on working in partnership with the community health worker to ensure that Jim Jam and Yawar Village succeed in Eden program. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
And now for the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2464 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2389 US. 0.378 to Australian dollars, 0.213 to euro, and 35.37 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, palm oil and copra, coffee and cocoa closed higher, copper and crude oil closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. TV1 News continues when we return. Stay with us.
Banking used to mean long trips, endless queues, and piles of paperwork. But now, BSP's one-talk wallet means no waits, no forms, no fuss. No BSP account needed. Just dial *131# to access your money wherever, whenever. Send, receive funds, withdraw cash at an ATM without a bank card, pay for school fees, and make top-up purchases safely and securely. BSP's one-talk wallet. Money made easy.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
For Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever. Yes! From small dreams to big possibilities. The one-top jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
We are the people, connected to our land and sea. Timeless and enduring, it has served past generations, sustains us today, and will support those of tomorrow. A testament to human ingenuity. It can be shaped into limitless forms. It reflects our humanity, strong yet vulnerable. It teaches us to endure challenges to fulfill our purpose. Past technologies inspire us to look inward for creativity and sustainable solutions for the future. It brings families together, fostering moments of connection over shared meals. Known and cherished worldwide, the clay pot is a universal symbol of life, resilience, and connection.
Thanks for staying with us. 2 businesses affected by the January 10th riot were issued relief support to help rebuild their businesses. Today, the government presented a 4 million kina check, each to the City Pharmacy Limited Group and Elisio Limited.
According to Chief Secretary to the government, Ivan Pomaleo, the government has allocated 270 million to assist the businesses affected by the January 10th riot in 2024. From the 270 million, about 33 million has been released so far. Pomaleo said the government is committed to supporting those who have been affected and will continue to ensure the situation is addressed and that the government is held accountable.
Of the phase 3 of the government assistance program to companies that lost properties and assets and businesses during the unfortunate events of 10th of January.
Pomaleo encourages businesses that were affected to adhere to the government's regulations when requesting for claims. This is because a few of the businesses have not met the government's regulations, resulting in their request not being approved.
Encourage compliance with all business regulations. So while we indebted to companies that may have lost businesses during the riots. We must continue to be consistent in terms of our conversation and requirements relating to government compliance.
However, the Chief Secretary thanked those businesses that have opened their doors for business despite losing so much during the riot.
Constant appreciation to the business communities for supporting the people that live in our communities in terms of where they could stop by and shop and do their requirements.
Representatives from LSU and CPL thanked the government for the support, which will assist in rebuilding their facilities.
For us, business will continue because we do have a lot of, loyal customers, and it's the option of us opting out is not there. We have to continue on serving our customers.
Assistance means a great deal to LSU, not only financially but emotionally. It reminds us that we are not fighting alone. We can always trust the government, trust our leaders. We are committed to using this fund to rebuild our shopping malls.
Tracy Pa, Tvwan News.
Turning abroad, a magnitude 7.1 earthquake that hit near Tonga, prompting authorities to issue a tsunami warning, has been cancelled by the U.S. Tsunami Warning Center. It said small fluctuations in wave height were detected at 2 buoys in the area. The center had earlier warned that tsunami waves were possible for coasts located within 300 kilometers of the earthquake epicenter. Geoscience Australia said the quake struck about 100 kilometers northeast of Tonga. Tonga is made up of 171 islands. The Tonga Meteorological Service urged residents to either move to higher ground further inland or to the 3rd floor of a reinforced concrete building. Men's sheds are well known for fostering friendships, skills, and a sense of belonging, and one Canberra organisation is doing the same for local women. The Canberra Women's Shed has helped hundreds overcome uncertainty about power tools and home maintenance, and its founder has just been named the Capital's Citizen of the Year.
When Dennis died in 2017, she inherited his shed full of power tools.
I just didn't know what all this stuff was that he used to play with that I had no idea how I could use. And of course, without somebody around the house being handy, all of a sudden, things were falling to disrepair.
Instead of selling the tools, she decided it was time she learnt to use them. And it was a workshop run by the Canberra Women's Shed that helped her do just that. 4 years later, Pauline says she's hooked.
So I've gone from just fixing things to now starting to make things.
It's a similar story for other women who have found their passion for using power tools through the shed. 28-year-old Rachel Neal says women often miss out on learning how to build things.
I came from a background where, the girls kind of did the stuff on the inside of the house, despite my dad being a builder. So I've always been interested in it, but I wasn't really given the opportunity. There is something really good about coming to a space where you are with like-minded people who are just interested in learning and not feeling judged by having to start from the very beginning.
The founder of the Women's Shed is recently named Canberra Citizen of the Year, Sunita Kotnala.
So I've had calls from Noosa, from Tasmania, from Western Australia, from Alice Springs, Braidwood, New South Wales, Cooma, New South Wales, and they all want to, start the Women's Shed.
Though other women's sheds exist, a focus on teaching sets Canberra's apart.
A lot of them don't offer the regular workshops that we offer for learning. That's why right from the beginning the model has been that we hire qualified tradespeople.
And for women like Pauline, tinkering has now become a hobby.
I'm certainly on the tools.
Anthony Albanese has made his first promise of the official election campaign to outlaw price gouging by supermarkets. With cost of living top of mind for most voters, Peter Dutton stopped by the Energy Minister's electorate as he makes the case for more gas to lower power prices.
Campaign day 2 and contenders are finding their groove.
Hello, Dante.
And perfecting their kitchen table pitch.
I'm trying to keep fit here for the campaign, and it's just about to go out the window.
With grocery prices leaving a bitter taste in voters' mouths, Labor's latest plan to counter the cost of living is aimed squarely at Coles and Woolworths.
We will make price gouging by Australian supermarkets illegal.
The competition watchdog isn't certain price gouging is going on.
What is some more?
But Labor's talking tough, promising a new task force and new laws by year's end.
Price gouging is when supermarkets are taking the piss.
Well, this is the 6th policy review that the Prime Minister's offered in 3 years. So I would say that the Prime Minister is as weak as water.
Swapping a brewery for a brickworks.
So this is wet play at the moment?
Peter Dutton stopped by Energy Minister Chris Bowen's Western Sydney seat to again highlight the high cost of electricity.
Each month, the gas bill here is in the millions of dollars. In the United States, it's in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
His solution is to get more gas into the grid by fast-tracking approvals for new projects and reserving more gas for domestic use.
If you put more supply into the market, the prices will come down.
By how much? The Coalition won't say. Haunted by his own pledge to bring down power prices before the last election, the Prime Minister's making no such commitments this time around.
What we have done throughout our term is to provide immediate support when people needed it.
Dodging questions about whether bills will go up when the latest rebate runs out at Christmas.
What we are providing is $150 relief.
As the campaign enters its first full week, 3 major opinion polls have Labor and the Coalition statistically tied around the 50-50 mark, which would most likely see the government returned. It's incremental, but at this stage suggests Labor's making up ground after trailing the Coalition for much of the past year.
Do you think you'll win this one?
Yeah, I do.
Of course, we're aiming to form majority of government in our own right, and we're confident about our ability to do so. But if we fall short by a couple of seats, we will have a negotiation with the crossbench.
This election tango still has a way to go.
Dozens of Australian Federal Police officers, soldiers and forensics experts gathered for a training drill at a body farm run by the University of Technology, Sydney, near the Blue Mountains. The drill mimicked a disaster, but the bodies the first responders identified were real. The facility is the only one of its kind in the Southern Hemisphere, which allows for studies on how bodies decompose in Australia's climate. ABC reports.
Bushland location at the foot of the Blue Mountains, dozens of Australian Federal Police, soldiers and forensic officers are sent to comb over the aftermath of what appears to be a terrorist attack.
There was a simulated building collapse that was caused by an explosion. The 6 hostages were missing people and their bodies weren't discovered for a couple of weeks.
It's actually a drill for a joint training exercise where multiple victims are buried under the rubble. But the bodies they are working to recover are real. They've been donated to one of the world's only body farms, officially known as the Australian Facility for Taphonomic Experimental Research.
It adds an element of realism that I haven't seen before in any training environment. We understand it's the only training environment in the world that's doing this sort of disaster training with real cadavers.
The facility run by UTS is a place where scientists usually study how human remains decompose. But for 5 days it was transformed into a training ground for the AFP specialists who are assigned the grim task of identifying Australian victims of mass casualty events like plane crashes and bombings. As they examine the bodies at a temporary morgue on site and use the latest technology to try to identify them as soon as possible, they're practising skills they wish they didn't have to use.
The main drive, I suppose, for us is to bring that comfort to families as quickly as we can. at a really terrible time in their lives.
High stakes work in the saddest of circumstances.
And that ends the news segment. Sports is next. Stay tuned.
Meet the bank for everyone, everywhere. As People's Microbank, we were proud to be a bank for the people. Now as National Banking Corporation, we are bringing modern banking to all in Papua New Guinea. With more branches and our friendly staff ready to assist you in more places, we are making money matters simple and fair. So wherever you are, however you say it, say hello better banking. Learn more at nbcpng.com.pg.
Hey, do you know that Cell Money gives you twice the Digicel credits you recharge when you top up your phone with Cell Money?
Yes, I have the good news. So now I put 3 kina in my phone. I receive 6 kina credit.
Well, that's why now I like to top up 5 kina because I receive 10 kina. And then I use my credits to call, send text, or get data.
Let's go to a Digicel store or Cell Money agent today. Deposit money in your Cell Money wallet to top up and receive the double credit.
Dial *888# to do it all with Cell Money.
Cell Money, do it all with Cell Money.
Did you know that you can get the latest updates on what's happening on the DTV app? 1. Open the DTV app. 2. Go to the profile on the upper right-hand corner of your screen and scroll down to push notifications. 3. Turn it on and you're good to receive notifications on the latest sports, TV series, and movies. DTV, your TV on the go.
Welcome back. After Saturday's trial match against the robust Central Dabari side, the East New Britain Gurriers coach Watovo Puara Jr. is optimistic about the team's future as they gear up for their season opener in 2 weeks. The Gurriers fell short against the Dabaris with a score of 22 points to 32, despite leading 16 points to 8 at halftime.
The match marked the first trial between the Dabaris and Gurriers, showcasing a physical contest where players battle for spots on the final roster. Puara was pleased with how his new players executed the team's game plan, although he noted areas for improvement in their structure and game management. He expressed gratitude to the Central Dabaris management for facilitating the trial, which provided a valuable benchmark for the Gurriers as they prepare for the upcoming season. Puara emphasized the importance of facing a quality side like the Dabaris, especially under the guidance of renowned former Hunters head trainer Solomon Kuluniasi, as it will aid in the Gurriers' preparations.
It's good to go back home. There's a lot of development going on there in terms of rugby, and I'm happy to be part of it. I'm happy that I have a good coaching staff that really support me for the past eight weeks, and yeah, I think it's really good to come out here and have a trial with Dabaris.
The other pleasing aspect was how the team managed to implement the game plan under pressure, particularly in terms of communication and both defensive and offensive strategies.
A lot of positive. Really good to see whatever we've been training for the last 8 weeks, the boys are doing it in the field and executing it in the field. So that's really good to see and satisfying. I think there's positive that we take a lot. There's a lot of positive that we take from this game, and we'll work on to maintain. There's also a lot of improvement that we have to do, work on a lot of things that we need to improve on before our first game.
Puara noted the promising mix of youth and experience in the squad, with the return of skilled fullback Elias Stanley, who's expected to add flair to the Gurriers' backline, and the impressive performance of young Derek Voku, a Rugby Sevens convert who showcased his work ethic and athleticism. Off-season recruits like Kitro Laka, Oxford Jacob, McCarab and John Mondo will provide essential experience and leadership, setting a solid foundation for the team's future.
Derek is one of the recruits that's coming, is on the centers. He can play a little bit of fullback, and he's been with the Hunters and now coming back to us. I think he improved a lot from where he started, and I'm happy with his attitude and his improvement. Those are three. I think Hilias is back for fullback. He's one of our experienced too, so it's good to have him back. We still have William there, William Tvwan. His leadership too is big for us. So.
Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Hikari United FC has put a major dent in the title hopes of Central Coast FC on home soil with a 3-0 defeat in the opening Group B match at the OFC Men's Championships League in the Solomon Islands. It was no less than what the Port Moresby base side deserved. They were more potent on attack throughout, with the home side largely reduced to long-range efforts that amounted to little. Hikari United started the stronger of the two teams and opened the scoring in the 12th minute by Lucas Santos, who quietened the local home crowd. Eric Joe added a second soon after the break. The crowd was silenced. Central Coast FC was dangerous at times on the break, but lacked the cutting-edge final pass. The home crowd suffered the final blow in the 88th minute when the Central Coast defense fumbled. Hikari's Gogi Wali capitalized on the mistake, seizing the opportunity for another goal, sealing the game 3-0 for the PNG team. Daly, Sherry Evans and Manly have put a week of turmoil behind them, even if it was just for a few hours, cruising past Parramatta at Four Pines Park on Sunday afternoon. Despite the win, all was not rosy for Manly, with Tom Bojevec suffering another injury and failing to finish the match.
After a week of almost 24 hours a day commentary following one of the most published and bizarre player movements ever seen in the NRL, Manly fans were unwavering in their support for their star half and his team as they ran out 26-12 over the Parramatta Eels. Majority of the Manly faithfuls welcome Terry Evans as if he'd just signed a 2-year extension rather than telling them he was walking out on the club where he spent almost 333 games of his NRL career. As he ran onto the field for the warm-up, Terry Evans stopped to hug his two daughters who double as Manly's ball kids before jogging towards the hill where fans broke into a committed cheer of Manly Manly, immediately letting one of the club's favourite sons know they had his back.
Yeah, well, obviously there was a fair bit spoken after the announcement was made on Monday night, so I feel like it could have ended pretty quickly early in the week, but it obviously didn't, which means conversations were continuing to happen outside of the ones happening between the club and I, so that's where I felt like it got a bit nasty and a bit ugly, but well, it's hard not to take things personally sometimes because we're all human. One thing I have gotten pretty good and used to is controlling the things that you can control and keeping your focus on the things that are important, which is your footy side and your family. So I did that the best I could this week.
The Eagles will now face an uncertain period, worrying about Trbojević's fitness after the star fullback's match ended at half-time, courtesy of a knee injury. Trbojević had suffered a suspected MCL injury. Terry Evans was influential for the Sea Eagles without dominating, following what would have been one of the most challenging weeks of his storied career. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Warriors came from behind to win a thrilling contest over the West Tigers 26-24 in Campbelltown on Sunday night. Terrell May looked to have put the Tigers up 30-18 with 20 minutes to play, but replays showed the star recruit dropped the ball over the line and the bunker rubbed it out.
Here we go. The Warriors struck first when star recruit James Fisher-Harris beat a defender, then passed to centre Adam Pompey, who showed some fancy footwork and a feint to score. But the Tigers struck back through young gun prop Fonua-Pole, who brushed aside Fisher Harris to crash over and level the scores at 6-all. Warriors back rower Marata Nukore charged onto the ball and went straight through where Adam Dewey would have been defending to score in the 33rd minute. The Tigers scored against a run of play through Stafford Toa thanks to some Loki Galvin magic on the stroke of half-time. But the Warriors were first to strike in the second when halves Chanel Harris Tavita and Luke Metcalf combined for the latter to score. Tries to Solomona Faapate and Latu Fainu put the Tigers ahead before Warriors teen Laka Halamasima scored a sensational solo effort, the first try of his NRL career, in the 70th minute to lock the scores back up. The Kiwis scored 8 unanswered points in the final 10 minutes to win as Luke Metcalf's perfect night off the tee proved the difference. The Tigers had a chance at the death, but they coughed up possession after there was no dummy half at the play the ball as coach Benji Marshall looked on in disbelief. Warriors fullback Chance Nicole Klokstad was tackled on the 5th in the 73rd minute and stayed down 40 meters out from goal. The bunker took a look and gave the penalty before Metcalf stepped up and nailed the long-range effort to give his side the win. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
That's all for sports. Now for the weather forecast. Southern region, Port Moresby, cloudy with showers then rain and possible thunderstorms. Umase, Lae, cloudy with showers then rain and possible thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, Kimbe and Buka, partly cloudy with chances of few showers. And Highlands region, all centers cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms. Oceans forecast, Coral Sea, seas smooth to slight with northwest to northerly winds of 5 to 15 knots. Solomon Seas, seas slight with northeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Bismarck Seas, seas slight to moderate with easterly to northeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Pacific Ocean, seas moderate to patches rough with easterly winds of 15 to 25 knots. And coastal waters. Waters of Hood Point to Samaria Island to Cape Vogel and all Milne Bay Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. And that ends the news tonight. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.